Hey guys, welcome back, and it's another new series. Hey guys, this is going to be on the first volume, yes, the first volume of Jagaaaaaan. Now, this is a series that I am currently starting, and I really enjoyed the first volume so much that I think I'm going to read up to the current chapter. I'm not sure if they're towards the end. It does show as it's still ongoing, but they pretty much might be close to the end. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but series is pretty good. I think it's one that should be considered. I remember seeing it in a video. I forgot what the guy was talking about. I think he was talking about the series he was watching, or some of the best series that are ongoing, something like that. And I decided to just check it out, and it's a pretty good one. So definitely have found one that I can read easily, and also can do reviews for you guys. Now, before I continue, a few things. If you have not done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Hit that bell button if you guys don't mind, and you'll be notified when I go live or when I upload videos. There is a giveaway happening right now. You have just a few days to be part of it, so make sure you follow all the instructions. Go to the video. Make sure you comment. I have more likes than comments, which means a lot of people have watched the video, liked the video, but not actually commented. So if you want to be part of the giveaway, make sure you're commenting in that video. Lastly, guys, there is a lot of manga reviews that I have in my channel. Go check those out to see what you guys should be watching next. If you don't like horror or suspense or gore like this one, then go check out other reviews. I have other stuff in my channel. There is 2 warnings to this volume. The first one, it is mature content, and it goes beyond just gore and blood. So I'm highly recommending this only to mature content, like it is advised by the manga itself. Secondly, I will talk about the first volume in some detail, so you kind of be warned about that. There is a little bit of spoiler that are coming your way in just a second. Okay, the series itself is very similar to Parasite. If you've ever read Parasite, ever heard of Parasite, it's very similar to it, so much that in fact there is a reference to Parasite in, I think, the first or second chapter of the first volume. Essentially what's going on is the world was infected by these frogs, and these frogs are essentially the parasite. It goes into your body and it takes control of your being, and when you reach a certain emotion that triggers the frog, it transforms you into basically a beast that represents that passion or that hate or whatever that is that you're doing. Our protagonist is this guy who is basically a pushover, and in his head, he's a cop. In his head, he just wants to shoot people. He gets pushed over by, some pedestrians, some kids that are just there hanging out, and he's supposed to get them out of the out of the way, and they're like just bullying him because he's the cop and he's a wimp. He's pushed over by his coworkers. They make fun of him. They just horrible people, to be honest. His friends are just horrible people as well. He goes to his girlfriend, and this is where the rated R part starts, because he does sleep with his girlfriend, and they show just one panel, but she kind of tell you that they're sleeping together. But essentially, he lives with his girlfriend, and it's a relationship for sure. But he doesn't want to be with her. He wants to shoot her, is what he's thinking in his mind. He doesn't want to be with her. He doesn't want to commit to marriage. He doesn't want to commit to meeting anyone. He's ready to end it, essentially. And what ends up happening is, one day while he's in with his cop, who's basically bullying him, making fun of him, he helps this pedestrian drunk get into a train, and in the train, one guy is just yelling at his subordinate, and essentially he transforms into this monster, and his monster is a tug, because his passion or his evil thing was to yell at daily to his subordinates, and essentially what ends up happening, there's a massacre, guys, in that train. And when I say massacre, he kills almost every single person in that train, except our protagonist. Our protagonist ends up, his fingers ends up being cut, and he panics and says, "Wow, I had a cheap life. All I wanted to do is shoot someone." And when he thinks that, his hands transform to a gun, and he's able to shoot this monster. Later on, we find out that there's this owl who is basically the guy or the thing that he's going to follow instructions from, and he tells them that he has now a goal, and he's the hero chosen by the owl to go and kill all these people that are infected by frogs. And so when he defeats them, the frogs comes out and the owl eats the frog. Kind of weird, but yeah. The volume has 3 incidents. I don't want to ruin too much out of it, but I'll skip the second incident because I think the second incident is probably the biggest spoiler. But the third incident, well, you kind of have to talk about the second one, to be honest, but essentially the volume, he ends up killing his girlfriend. His girlfriend ends up being one, and then he ends up going to a wedding, and his wedding friends, the bride ends up being another one. So he ends up killing 2 girls after this, and in the volume, and it gets pretty intense. I won't go into much detail of it, but the girlfriend part is important because it shows different things. One, as he progresses in his mentality, insanity reaches him, and he's also infected, which is why he's able to shoot the people, by the way. He becomes more and more into a monster. The owl is able to give him these pellets each time he kills one to control the beast inside of him. The other thing that's kind of weird about him is that he's losing his insanity in the fact that he kept his girlfriend's head and he has it in the refrigerator. That's going to come back and bite him, I'm pretty sure. Someone's going to find it or something. But he is a psycho. He's, he obviously loved her, but ended up killing her because she was basically going to kill him if he didn't. Her thing was the whole obsession of marriage. She wanted to get married, and that is what overtook her. And the brides was a little bit it wasn't really clear, but essentially she was extremely happy, and I'm not sure if it was a fake happy that made her go insane, and the monster came out of her and killed a bunch of people at her wedding party, and her husband on top of that. Massacre as it is. So the guy has determined himself to go kill all these frogs and help the owl essentially eat them. So the story itself is great in the way that it shows the true colors of people. It shows how people have a side of them that, even though everything looks normal, because I would say when the interaction we had between him and his girlfriend, to a lot of people it would seem normal. It would seem like, okay, not much is going on there. If they're sleeping together, then there shouldn't be any issues, right? Because he seems to smile, she seems to smile, but she knew that he was smiling and his smile was fake. She also knew that all she wanted was to marry him, to be in a marriage, and that he would ignore the topic. So there's just so much that was in that relationship that was bad that they didn't notice. Now, for someone who loves psychological things, loves to just look at the story from a third perspective, it's awesome because I'm enjoying seeing or figuring out what's going to be their evil doing or their passion that's going to overtake them before we get to the point where the monster comes out. And I think that's the thing that I've enjoyed the most about this series. It is gory and there is some nudity, which is why I highly recommend that it is only for mature content. But yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this. Out of 10, I'm going to put this one at 7 out of 10. I'm going to be a little bit generous, but not too generous to it. So let me know in the comment section if you heard about it or if you're watching it. Reading it. It is a pretty good one, but it is not for everyone. So if you like Parasite, you'll like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And if you haven't done so by now, subscribe, comment, like, and share. go check out that giveaway video, and I think that's it. Like always, don't be strangers. See you guys.